Hey Nicole, how you doing? Welcome to the Telegram. I'm gonna put your mind at ease here for Bitcoin. And now, honestly, I take pleasure. I take a lot of joy in calming people down in the markets because it's a gift I have within doing the TAs with how I explain things. This is what I'm told. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you what's going on. So this is Bitcoin. Okay, this is Bitcoin throughout its entire life. This goes back to 2010. So we're looking at about 11 years worth of data. Now, Bitcoin was born January 3rd, 2009, right after the housing crisis in America, or a crisis in America, where our economy was crumbling. Someone got really sick of the current way of doing things, monetary wise, and created a new asset that would not be devalued. So you can see in this chart, we have a top line, which is our resistance. We have this bottom yellow line, which is our support. And then we have this green line in the middle, which is our median. It's kind of the middle. And you can see even at the very beginning, we came up and we would hit that median. And we'd take a breather and come up, hit that median, come hang out down by the support, and come up and hit that medium. And then when we broke through, by the way, this median is called a heart line. When we break through the heart line, we come up really quickly. And that's called a super cycle. Once we break the heart line over here, that is called a super cycle. Sorry, my fan's going off right now. I don't know if you can hear that. So when we come up, we hit resistance, and you can see that we come down. We touch a support right there. We couldn't hold it. So then we started going into a bear market. And this is what you're seeing over here. This whole thing is a bear market. We came down, touched support over here during the entire bear market. And once we came up and broke all-time highs, which was about right there, breaking all-time highs over here, we went up. We started going up. This line that you see, this blue line that's going straight up and down, this is where a halving happens. This is where the block rewards get cut in half for the miners and they don't make as much money anymore, thus making Bitcoin more scarce. It's an asset that everybody wants to get. If there's not much of it, simple supply and demand deems that it is a scarce asset. So after we break all-time highs, once we break that all-time high, we start to come up. And you can see that we hit this median over here. We peaked above it for a little bit. And this was a crazy situation that was happening over here. This was the Mt. Gox exchange crash. Pretty much, it was the only exchange in Bitcoin at the time. It was located in China, and they got hacked. And they crashed. And you could see from that very top to this bottom over here, they crashed 77%. That was no joke. A lot of people were mad. And you'll hear about that Mt. Gox news around this time, where Mt. Gox is going to be releasing the Bitcoin that was stolen, and they're going to give it back to their customers. Well, I mean, if I was a customer back here and I was holding Bitcoin at $126 or even higher, and I could sell it for 40 grand right now, each Bitcoin, I wonder how many Bitcoin people had back there when they were investing. Hundreds, thousands. Those people are potential millionaires and they are looking for that. That's not the point of the video. Anyways, back to what we were talking about. So we took a breather and we went through a bear market. And this is considered to be one cycle right here. I'm sorry. This is to be considered two cycles, 1 and 2. And the only reason why that happened was because of this crash. Anyways, I'm getting off topic. Once we came to the heart line and we went up, boom. We came up and we hit that resistance over there. I want to show you the measured moves over here, okay? Here's the support. We're looking at this yellow line down here, and we're going to go up to the median, this green line. 400%, okay? That was just to the median. Once that broke and we went on our super cycle, 5,000%. Probably a little bit higher than that. That's a lot. When we hit the super cycle, it is no joke. Here's the bottom over here. I'm looking at this support on the yellow. I go up to that median, 600%. Once we broke through the median and we went up and hit that resistance, 8,000%. Remember these. Remember what I'm telling you right now, okay? So once we hit our top over here, which is about $1,100, maybe a little bit more, maybe like $1,200, we had our market top and we started going through a bear market over here. And once we broke all-time highs, we started to go make newer highs over here. Are you seeing a pattern over here? Look where the halving is, which is this blue line right here. It happens every 4 years. Every time we have a halving, the price moves up. Every time we have a halving, we break all-time highs from here, straight over here, and we move up. There's a little bit of a lag right here, as you can see, a little bit of a lag. So we went through that bear market, and we're going up. And ever since then, over here, this was back in 2017. We came up, we tested the median, didn't like it. Came down, came up and tested it again. Couldn't do it. Couldn't hold it. We went back down. Once we broke it, we came up and we hit resistance up here. That is a very crucial line. Let's take our percentage move, okay? So here's the base. I'm going to go from around all-time highs. Probably you can grab it about right there. And we go up to the median. 330%. That's good. That's really good. You go up to the top over here. Now you're looking at 2,000%. Like I said, going past this median enters us into a super cycle. And now we went through this bear market over here. Wait, where's my line? We went through this bear market over here. We made all-time highs. And now we're starting to take off. Make this a little bit bigger. Oops, let me get rid of that line first. So here we are. Here's the last bear market. We went through the bear market. We broke all-time highs. And now we're making our way. Do you see anything similar that's going on right now? We had our halving. The asset starts to become scarce because the miners are not getting rewarded with as much Bitcoin anymore, and the price starts moving up. And we are right here at the median currently. We haven't broken through it. Once we break this median right here, as you saw here, over here, once we break through that median, we will be going up to a super cycle. Currently, from the base support to the median, looking at about 200%. Up to the top over here, which I'm going to go to September because that is my predicted market high. 1,000%. You're probably noticing that the percentages are getting lower and lower and lower as we go throughout Bitcoin, and that's because the market cap becomes more and more, and it's not as volatile as it used to be. I don't believe $100,000 to be the top for Bitcoin over here. That's about $100,000. I don't believe that to be true. I think this chart will at some point become invalidated, as these lines will eventually cross, right? They'll do something like that. So this chart is only good up to a certain point, being that with all the quantitative easing that's happening right now, and what that is that's just the printing of the money. The government keeps printing more money, and it's devaluing the dollar. And every year, the dollar gets devaluated by 2%. That scares a lot of corporations. When you have hundreds of millions, billions of dollars, 2% a year is a lot of money. People don't want to be losing their money, and that's why you're hearing about all this institutional buying, which is why we're having such an accelerated jump up over here. I'm going to go ahead and show you the stock to flow model. It looks very similar to the chart that we were just looking at. It's represented by these colors, these circles over here. So back here, when we broke all-time highs, right? and we came up, we were in the orange. But really the start of everything starts with a red dot. When we have our red dot over here, then we start shifting over to orange, to yellow, to this weird green color, light green, and then that's when we have our market top. Is at that light green area. Same thing over here. When we go, I'm sorry, let me back up. When we go through our bear market, we start to turn blue, dark blue, into this purple kind of color, shifting over to red. Okay. Here's the top. We're going through a bear market. Bear market starts to turn light blue to purple, and then you print your first red. And that's an indication that, hey, we're about to start a bull run. And what happened after that? Boom. We started going up, shifting from orange to yellow to green, and boom. Here's that top right there. We have our top, and then we go through another cycle, and a bear market comes. Blue, dark blue, purple, and then boom. In May, we printed our first red dot. And right now, we're only sitting at orange. If you look back here, that's only the halfway point, right? Halfway point. Look where the all-time highs were. Halfway point. Back here, orange, halfway point. We're not even really halfway through this yet. Personally, I don't think so. I don't think we're halfway yet. So that should put your mind at ease a little bit, for you're not at the top, you're not too late, you're actually still very early. I want to show you something that's called the pi cycle. This is a very, very powerful indicator. The pi cycle, and let me see if I can try to zoom in a little bit more. Every time the green line crosses over the orange line, it predicts exactly the top. And you can see that happening right here. And it predicted this top. Same thing over here. Once the green goes over to the orange, predicts the top. Happened over here in 2017 with the last bull run. The green crosses over to the green, or to the orange, and boom, picks the cycle top. We're not even there yet. We're not even close. Look at the distance between the orange and the green. Between those two, you could probably equate that to right here. Do you see this? And this is exactly where we are. If we were on this bull cycle over here, this is where we are. Just wanted to show that to you. Now, I also want to show you another reason why you buying Bitcoin right now was not a bad idea. Let me get rid of some of this. Some of these drawings, and even go down to a 4-hour or daily. So here we have the Bitcoin dominance chart. Basically what this is it's a percentage of how much money is in Bitcoin versus all of crypto. Okay. So when we hit $42,000, Bitcoin came up here and it had 73%, 74% of all the money in crypto. And then we started going into something what's called alt season. And it's where all this institutional money, all of this big money that was coming into Bitcoin over here, starts getting sold off by the little guy. And the little guy has made their profit. And what they're doing is they're selling, and they're going to go buy alts. And that's what you're seeing with, let me get rid of this real quick. That's what you're seeing with coins like New Cipher. See this massive pump? That's what you're seeing with altcoins like this. We go from the base all the way top. That's 300%. That's no joke. Or we can look at Loopring and another altcoin. Go from the base all the way up, 300%. These altcoins are pumping. Check out DNT. This one's insane. Look at the base all the way to the top, 2,000%. This is happening with these altcoins because of alt season. Okay. Now, we just hit a major support in Bitcoin dominance. Bitcoin went from 74%. Alt season started to happen. I don't think it's over yet. I don't think alt season's over yet. And we came down and we hit this major support for Bitcoin, which is at 60%. You can see it was support over here. It was resistance back here. And resistance gets flipped into support once it's broke. Once it's broke, then it becomes support. Even back here. So that's a really big reason to buy Bitcoin right now. Okay? Let me show you another reason why buying Bitcoin right now was a really good idea. Go to the 4 hour. This blue line up here is the 50-day moving average, and this red line is the 20-day moving average. Okay? Now we haven't done this since $10,000. Okay? I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to track this back to $10,000. You see how when the red line goes over the blue and the blue gets on top, how we start moving up? You can see it happen back here too. When the blue line came above the red line, or better yet, let me explain this a little bit better. The red line goes over the blue line right there. And when the red line goes over the blue line, we start moving up. That happened July of 2020. And then watch what happens when the blue line goes over the red, we have a dump. And then the red's on top. And we go through this consolidation period for a little bit. Here's Bitcoin at $10,000, $10,600. The blue line, or the red line went over the blue right there. And when the blue's on top, that's good. You want to see the blue on top. Blue's on top over here, that's good. You want to see the blue on top. As soon as red is on top, it's no good. It's no good. You see some pullbacks. See how it's coming up all the way. The blue is on top the entire way. Let me get rid of this volume. Blue on top this entire time. We're going months. This is months. And then look what happened. The red right here flipped over the blue. And we saw some downside. It was a big dip. It was about what was this? Measured move of about, looking at about 30% drop. Very normal. Very normal for Bitcoin to take these 30% drops, and I'll show you that in just 1 second. We just had our huge 30% drop, but check it out. Look what just happened. The blue just crossed over the red. That's massive. That's huge. Plus, this is going to be a long video, Nicole. I hope you're ready. So, with this is a triangle. Or, I'm sorry, this was a bull flag that we printed over here. Okay? And what we can do with these bull flags is we can find measured moves by finding the base and making sure. So, what we do, and let me make these lines a little bit bigger, bear with me. Okay. Here's our bull flag, okay? Looks like, kind of like that. And it's where we have support down here, and we have the resistance up here. You go up, you hit resistance, you come down, touch support. Resistance, resistance, support. Resistance, resistance, boom. We broke out of it. Okay, so now what we can do is we can take from the top and go all the way down to the base. And this is called our flagpole. That's why they call it a bear or a bull flag. Looks like a flag. Let me just make this red. Okay, so now we have a bull flag. And what we can do is we can measure this bull flag. I'm going to go ahead and take that support out just for illustration purposes. And what we can do is we go to the top of this bull flag and we come all the way down. And I'm looking over here at the base, okay? We come down in a straight line. And this is our measured move. This is our measured move right here. This is actual measurements that we can take. And we take this to the breakout target. Right there. And the top of this line over here is our target. $55,000 on the short term. This is a very short term play. We could expect to see this within the next few weeks. Okay. So you buying right now is not a bad idea. It's not a bad idea. I know you're seeing this little bit of a dip. Don't even worry about that. Don't even worry about that. That's normal. That's healthy. By the time we hit our breakout target, you have already hit about almost 50% of your money. Some people are even calling for a $70,000 Bitcoin. Okay. We flipped this resistance into support. And that was the first indication of a really massive move coming. Resistance, resistance, resistance. Boom. We flipped it. We came back. We tested it. Beautiful. That's exactly what we want to see. And we're getting the resumption off. And we're going up higher. Okay. Let me show you why it's so normal to have these corrections in Bitcoin. Okay. I'm gonna take us back to the 2017 bull run. Okay. You can see I've already kind of drawn over here. But we have these pullbacks. Okay. We're going to go from this high down to here. 37%. From here, 37%. From here, 32%. Are you seeing something similar? This one, 39%, almost 40%. 40%. 29%. These are very crucial for us to have these pullbacks. And if we go ahead and take a look at the RSI, this is our relative strength indicator. And basically, this is a range, okay, between this dotted white line and this dotted white line over here. This is a 30 and this is the 70 line over here. Every time we hit the 30 line, we're underbought. We're underbought. So that means it's time to start buying. And let me measure this for you, okay? When we hit our top over here, we were overbought. We were over the 70 and we were over at this 90 line right here, okay? This 90 line is overbought. Extremely overbought. We need to take a cool down, and that's what Bitcoin did. It came down and it touched down here. Remember, that was a measured move. Whoops. That was a measured move, about 40%. So we came down and we hit the 30 on the RSI. That's really good. That's your buying opportunity right there. Okay, let's move on. Same thing here. Top. Overbought. Overbought. What happened? We came down. We didn't touch the 30 exactly. We don't always have to hit 30 exactly. It's not a precise method, but it would be nice if it did that. It just doesn't do that. Okay. Same thing over here. Go up higher. Hit your high. You're overbought. You come down. And you're underbought. Are you seeing a pattern here? It's very normal for this to be happening. We'll do one more. You hit your high. And you can see I'll just go straight down. And you're extremely overbought. And you can actually see hidden bearish divergence happening right here. And that is when you have a decline on your indicator while price is moving up. That's the first sign of bearishness that's going to be coming into the market. So we hit our high, we're overbought, we came down. Underbought. We were oversold, They were underbought. Okay. Okay, that's plenty of examples. Now let's move over to where we are right now. We were overbought. This is the same line up here. I didn't move it. Okay. It hit perfectly. This is how day traders look at these things, and this is kind of, I'm giving you a view through my eyes of things that I look for, potential buys, sells. I do like to day trade. So we came up, overbought. What happened? We took a break. 30%. Very normal. Very normal. We came down, didn't touch the 30, but that's okay. We don't always have to touch the 30. But here's the interesting thing. We go to a weekly and we take a look at the RSI on the weekly. Get rid of all this. I want you to take a look at this line right here. Every time we had these dips over here, all those dips, we were overbought, and we came down and we hit this 53 perfectly. And that was the time to buy down there. Bitcoin was overbought, and actually this was the highest that we had ever seen since back here in 2013, which was this high back over here. We hit the high right there. We haven't even come down and touched that 53. Is it possible? Could we still hit that 53? Yes. And if we do, that's a very good buying opportunity right there. But being the scarcity that's going on with Bitcoin right now, I'm not sure we're going to see that. We could still run this thing a lot hotter. It can go a lot higher, and we can hit new all-time highs, $70,000, $80,000. I'm not sure where it's going to be going right now, but we can still run this thing very hot. And this is what's so interesting about this next bull run. It's because it's happening a lot faster. It's actually happening like 30% faster than this market back here. You can see it's a little bit more dragged out, right? This one kind of just goes up really quickly. So I don't want to make this video too long. I'm sorry it was already super long, but I just wanted to go ahead and explain to you why it's not a bad time to buy Bitcoin. I will make an Ethereum video if you would like as well after this one. Let me know if you want an Ethereum video after watching this video. It's a lot of time. So anyways, welcome to the Telegram, Nicole. There's just a very simple, short version of why I think you buying Bitcoin right now was not a bad idea.